Welcome to Grover Load, and Microsoft wants to help us with our PC gaming experience. And they wrote a blog post, and this should get a little bit of laughs out of everybody with what they've been through this year with Windows 11 and performance. But their blog post is about PC gaming and how Windows 11 will elevate that. They say this holiday season. It's that you're going to force us there next year as much as possible. But let's jump over here so everyone can have a very good laugh here this Christmas with Microsoft on what they're thinking here. Now, I would like to start off with elevating your PC gaming experience. Microsoft means performance. Gamers, we want, you know, great visuals, right? We're playing games. A lot of us play games for visuals. A lot of other people play, for speed, frames per second, and with that requires good performance out of our hardware that we're buying. And so if you're not making sure the best hardware or all the hardware is having the best performance, Microsoft, maybe some of that should have been in this blog of what we're focusing on for better hardware. But as we start off here, Microsoft says one of the first things, well, here they talk about some of their games, right, and their libraries that they're having. Yeah, I can see them. You got PC Game Pass, which has Flight Simulator, Indiana Jones. Yep, a whole bunch of games. Cool. Auto HDR, breathing new life into your games. Ooh, great, right? HDR, we want those visuals, right? Microsoft saying putting this out there, you have richer colors and everything else. They give a little bit of side by side here. One thing I like to note though, Microsoft, is I was reading today that 24H2 currently has this broken, and so if you're on Windows 11 23H2 or any of the, or for the upgrade path for 24H2, Microsoft issues a blocker so you can't update because it is broken currently. So you write this blog post, you just can't make this all up, right? You write this blog post and then you have a blocker that you can't upgrade if you're using this feature in the newest Windows 11. I'm enjoying it, Microsoft. I'm enjoying it here. But this is a nice feature. You do notice though that the first thing wasn't amazing performance. We have unparalleled performance. We increased, streamlined Windows 10, made games run even better on Windows 11. That wasn't the first feature here to get you to upgrade, which, by the way, if that was the feature, Microsoft, I'd be very inclined to upgrade and want it. Now, granted, I'm running Windows 11 on this PC that I'm recording on, but if it wasn't for the end of life, Windows 10 has a lot of benefits with performance that Windows 11 we had to wait for it to patch earlier in this year, right? Zen 5 had issues. AMD Zen 5 architecture, 9,000 CPUs had issues. In fact, it even was with some Zen 4. There's 7,000 CPUs, some 8,000, which is that G processor. So there's a lot of performance degradations just because of Windows. And Intel was also seeing some degradations, or not the performance that Windows 10 had as well. So you see, you had to patch it in order to get there. Now, if you're going to keep improving that, that's a selling feature. But having Windows 10 already have that performance where Windows 11 didn't is actually very concerning. And it's not one that gamers want to get behind because, or just upgrade for, I should say, because we're losing performance, Microsoft. DirectStorage, I actually really think that this is probably the #1 feature in this whole list that Microsoft has. The being able to load, off the solid state drives to reduce time, and also going right to the GPU to reduce some of the CPU overhead, I think is a very good feature. And here you can go through just some of the differences in loading that they have here. And even DirectStorage versus Win32 app, right? You're losing right around a half a second in loading time. So that's pretty cool what they have done with DirectStorage. And I think NVIDIA has something like this in that they've built in, And just going down this route, I mean, remember when PlayStation 5 came out, how that was one of the main selling features of how their storage works? And I can't remember what they exactly call it in the PlayStation, but that was a really big feature. And this was to compete with that. And I'm glad Microsoft does have that. That's one good thing. Now, Game Bar, compact mode. Cool. How is this going to benefit us gamers, right? I get it, you're trying to sell some features, Microsoft, but what we really want is that performance. Now, they tell you how to use compact game bar mode. I rarely ever use the game bar anymore. I know I was more interested in it early on, but it just didn't seem to have or do what I wanted it to do when I was in it. Or sometimes it just wouldn't show up when you press your Windows key G. So, and it was enabled, and those features were just disappointing, right? So another one to laugh at here, you get improved game bar compact mode. Yay! Dynamic lighting for unified RGB control. This is a reason to upgrade to Windows 11 because there's no third-party software that would allow you to do this in Windows 10 at all. This is, let's all laugh. Come on. Microsoft's really trying to sell us on that Windows 11 upgrade. Uh, I'm, I don't know. Optimized for Windows games, exclusive performance boost. So this I think would also be higher on the list, right? If you're playing in a windowed or borderless windowed gaming modes, right? Having that variable refresh rate that they have on Windows games reduces screen tearing and stuff, synchronizing refresh rates with the display, all that stuff, right? This would probably be maybe number one, number two, depending upon what you want in which game, the direct storage or this are probably more important features than everything else they had listed. Even with the HDR, right? The visuals and stuff are nice, but is it something to upgrade Windows solely for? Again, the performance issues, Microsoft, that you had with Windows 11 was a pretty big issue, a big deal, right? It, it needs to be you need to be focused on making sure that kernel is rock solid and it's getting all those features out for upcoming processors. We know that you have contacts between AMD and Intel and Nvidia, and Qualcomm for ARM chips that may come out and have a little bit more powerful stuff for gaming. That needs to be a focus. That needs to be any way you can get performance out of it when you're in a game needs to be benefited. And if you're really focused on the gamer, those are things in there, because if I can get a little bit more frames per second, if I can get, a higher frames per second, but also crank up the visuals and have more performance out of it, that is a major plus, and that's what gamers are looking for. And so then we got bonus features. This is what you need if you're Windows 11. The HDR calibration app, it isn't that bad there. That calibration app, it's pretty good. The hybrid, advanced hybrid CSCO UMA. So this is for hybrid laptops. So if you have a laptop, this would be, you need to have what, 11th gen and what Ryzen processor, the 6000 series and newer. I'm blanking on 11th gen, and maybe it was 6000 and newer laptop chip from AMD, and you can have some of that hybrid mode. That would be on, I guess it's a bonus feature, but that would probably be the top bonus feature, because if you're gaming on a laptop, you are able to have that performance benefit. And so I would rate that pretty high. Wi-Fi 6E and 7, I'm sure somebody has drivers out for Windows 10. Color profiles for colorblind players. This is a nice one if you're a colorblind player. That is a benefit. Now, I don't know if there's something like this on Windows 10, but Microsoft, this is one that you should just, if you can, put in Windows 10. I wouldn't even call it a bonus feature. This is just one for usability for those players to help them out. I would have backported if I could have to Windows 10. Automatic super resolution for ARM Copilot Plus PCs. Um, Microsoft, is this the biggest niche item on this list? Because you have to have a ARM Copilot Plus PC to use it? I don't know if I would have even put this one in Microsoft. I get it, you're trying to sell Copilot Plus PCs, but this is another one that we should be laughing at you for. That is, there's other upscalers, right, out there, and they're useful, right? They can be useful. This is a niche one here, Microsoft. I see you're grasping at straws. Was there a word count that you needed in this blog post to hit? I don't know. I hope that everyone is enjoying this right before for your Christmas here, because this is one that I don't know what they're trying to do here. It's pretty funny. Xbox app on Windows PC. Well, I hope that there's a Xbox app on Windows PC. You mentioned, what was it, the game bar up here. Oh, you also mentioned PC Game Pass up here. So I hope that you have something to go and get all the games on your PC. And wouldn't you want this on Windows 10 as well? So people were using Game Pass that you're trying to sell and push through Game Pass. Microsoft. It's yeah, discover and download new PC games and Game Pass and console. Yeah, this, sure. But Microsoft, you need to just focus on the performance. I mean, it'd be great if there was a gaming mode in Windows, and that when you're in gaming mode, a lot of those background tasks and everything else, it's just performance for gaming, right? And if you can do something like that, I think people would be way more interested in this whole upgrade. Selling all these little features in the hopes that we will want to just upgrade is not a great route to take. I think there's a lot better options here, Microsoft. You could have even went to, we've focused on getting performance right so that it is as good or better than Windows 10. Now, you ran into problems early in the year. That's why you had to kind of, well, get it on par with Windows 10. But if you can get it to be better than what Windows 10 is, people will be more interested in upgrade, right? They're looking for that performance. There's a reason why people spend hours looking and reading about performance differences in processors and in GPUs if they're in a certain price bracket, right? Of which PC to buy. Yeah, this will work for the people that are just getting, well, I don't even know if it works for the people just getting into gaming. Some of these things are really, like I said, really nice features. The CSCO, right, for laptops, uh, the optimized, what is it, the optimized performance boost for, depending on for VRR, for syncing that, resolution or resolution, refresh rate, as well as the DirectStorage. Those are some good features that gamers want, right? We want the faster load times. We want that stuff. But trying to sell us on everything else, even when in a blog post and then you have a blocker that you can't upgrade to the latest Windows because if you have that feature enabled for gaming, those are things that I get it. You released this 24H2 and there were some growing pains here. It's software, it happens, but maybe the blog post needs to wait a month, right, to get those fixes out, right? And you had another blocker for, what was it, anti-cheat or something in 24H2 that you were blocking if certain people had certain games installed. And these blockers, right, you're trying to encourage users to move to Windows 11 because it's by your own blog here, you're trying to show that it's a better experience, and yet people that are playing games are running issues if they update to the latest Windows. That's not a better experience. That's I have to now go on a problem solving mission to see why something isn't working after I upgraded the OS. So something to keep in mind. I hope, I doubt anybody at Microsoft is going to be watching this and be like, you know what, that makes sense. But, we can always hope, laugh at it, and Hopefully someday Microsoft will be like, you know what, we need to do what's right by our consumers in this segment. And I think if they were to do that, a lot of people would be a lot more supportive and want to actually upgrade, because then there is the benefit to them. With that, let me know in the comments below what you think about this. If you're just laughing at it as I am, go ahead. I thought it'd be a little bit of a funny thing to do here before the Christmas week, to look at, well, I saw this blog and I just had to start laughing. So let me know what your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, watch another one of my videos. It really does help out this channel a lot, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support, and Merry Christmas, and until next time, God bless.